When it came to the pricing strategy for Toutapp, my last SaaS business, there's a distinct before and after. Don't get me wrong, we made a lot of changes. We consistently increased prices. And I know I've done videos before on intelligently pricing your SaaS product, but there's this one thing we did that changed everything. It completely transformed the fundamental structure of our business. It's when we switched from charging on a monthly basis to charging for the year upfront with the cash upfront. Everything changed. Our cash flow actually went up, our retention went up, our DRR went up. We were able to do a lot of really crazy things with customers because they were committing for a full year. However, that transition, that before and that after, was super hard to make. The biggest reason, it was just really hard to gather up the courage to ask for that big of a number, to actually say, no, you have to pay us up front. No, you have to commit for a year. That was super tough. And that's when I discovered the 20% rule. Some smart people told me about it and I learned it and we tried it and it made the biggest difference to help make that transition. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through what that 20% rule is. I'm gonna walk you through exactly why you should deploy it, and it'll help you grow faster and transform your pricing strategy. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you navigate the path to the next stage of growth, navigate the path to product market fit with an unstoppable strategy. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon because I drop a video like this 2 to 3 times a week with the TK energy. If you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching program, if you're already part of our community, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. So I remember when in the early days of Toutapp, there was this one point where word of mouth started to spread. And just about every software company in San Francisco started to want a sales engagement tool. And they were either looking at Toutapp or they were looking at Yesware. Like that's literally where we were the two games in town. And so what ended up happening was we started to get a lot more inbound leads. And we had a tiny team. We had like 7 people, 8 people. We're just starting to get our go-to-market strategy in place. I'm switching from just self-service to sales-driven because larger and larger teams wanted the product for their entire team. And we eventually hit a point where we're like, we have to start charging for the full year. But that transition was super hard because we were just afraid. We were used to just saying, hey, it's this much a month, you should join, this is the team plan. And having to switch from that to say you have to prepay for the year, and you have to do a year commitment, like that was a tough thing for our people. Like we knew that conceptually it was the right thing to do for the business, but for us, our happiness office, as we call them, to actually say that to the customers and risk losing a deal, that was super scary. And that's when we discovered the 20% rule. And we put in the 20% rule in play and we were able to actually transform our pricing strategy, transform our business. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what the 20% rule is and how to implement it. So if you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. Let's go into what exactly the 20% rule is. 20% rule is basically you tell yourself and the team that, look, we're gonna offer the same offer that we normally do in our deals. We'll do the same proposal. So if it's $100 a month, it's $100 a month. If it's $300 a month, it's $300 a month. If it's $600 a month, $600 a month. Just do that. That's fine. And that's easy. Nothing scary, right? However, you're gonna add one more line to the proposal or the offer or the email or whatever you say on the phone. You're gonna say, look, it's X dollars per month. However, if you prepay for the full year, we'll give you a 20% discount. Believe it or not, this was beneficial for both sides. For the customer, it gave them an option. They could say, okay, cool, like I'll just do a month. But if they're feeling high conviction around the platform, which is what was happening for us at that point, when everyone needed to get on a sales engagement platform, at that moment, they were like, well, I'm gonna need this a month after, and the month after, and the month after, I'm all in. I've already looked at Yesware, and I've looked at Toutapp, I want Toutapp. So they would just go for the 1-year deal, and they get a 20% discount. So they were like just willing to opt in. And there were some people that said, no, I'm not ready for a 1 year yet, and that was fine. We completely hedged our bets in the way we offered it. We just said, look, this is the price, but if you sign up for the year, then we do a 20% discount. Totally normal, you see it in other places. So that helped on the customer side. But it actually helped a lot more on our side for our team because it felt scary to say it's $20,000. It just did. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I don't know where you are, but at that time in the early days, I didn't even have $20,000 in my bank account. Like it was a lot of money for me. So to be able to ask that, like just from a mindset perspective, it was super tough. And so the 20% thing made it logically reasonable in my brain. Basically, I was saying, oh, look, you're gonna spend this money. Our product is awesome. You're gonna spend this money over the course of a year, but if you pay it up front, we'll give you a 20% discount. And it felt totally logical and totally reasonable. And it helped everyone in the team just be able to quote that. And as soon as we started doing that, magic happened. People just started to pay us that full amount up front. And I know it sounds obvious, but it was like a mental crutch that helped us break down some mental barriers and just get the momentum going. As soon as we started to do that, more money started to come in for every customer we brought on. Cash flow went up. Because we actually locked them in for a year, churn actually went down. We were able to just keep our customers for longer. And a bunch of other things started to come into play just because they signed up for a year. So that's principle number 1 in this video. Just use the 20% rule. Say, give the price you normally give, and then give them an option to say, by the way, if you sign up for the full year and pay up front, 20% discount. Otherwise, you can just do month to month, completely up to you. And when you do it that way, you little by little, you start to see the appetite in the market. And you start to see 9 times out of 10, the customer just goes to the 1-year deal. Then you can start to switch it to say, hey, it's for 1 year and this is the price. And you can bake in the 20% discount. And then if they say, I want to pay monthly, then you give them like, well, that's cool, but then you don't get the discount. And you then give you the monthly. You can slowly ratchet your way to just servicing 1-year deals. A couple other things come into play too. This is where principle number 2 comes in. Because you start getting a lot more cash into the business up front, instead of waiting for that monthly revenue stream to kick in, you have some cash to redeploy. So the second thing we did after the 20% rule is we started to invest the cash into customer success. Meaning we just put in more money to hire more customer success people so that we could take better care of the customers. As we did this, what we ended up doing was like, okay, they signed up for a full year. So let's make sure we properly onboard them. We can spend the money on that. Let's make sure we do quarterly business reviews. We can spend the money on that. And let's make sure that we actually engage with them before the renewal comes up. And because we did that, retention went up. Our dollar retention rate actually went up because every time we did a quarterly review, we were like, oh, you hired 10 more salespeople? Great. Do they need ToutApp seats? Awesome. And they would just buy more. We would upsell them during those quarterly business reviews. And when you compounded the two, more money was coming in, churn went down, DRR went up, so growth went up, which was amazing. So that was the second principle, where we took that cash flow that was coming in, we reinvested it back into more customer success people, because all of a sudden this wasn't just a monthly transaction, this was a 1-year commitment. And we were like, let's go really plan out that year and make sure they're super successful. Are you starting to see the power of the 20% rule? So before, I have one more for you. I have a third principle that you absolutely have to know as part of this 20% rule. But even if you just do these 2 things, can you start to see how you can convert the complete makeup of your business? You can go from just this monthly transactional relationship to a strategic 1-year relationship. If you start to see the power in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? Also, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm really likes it when you do that, and so do we. Just means the world to us. Oh, also one more thing. I have a 5-point SaaS growth strategy guide. So if you're in this stage where you're looking to make big moves in your business and grow it, check out my 5-point SaaS growth strategy guide. It's completely free. I'll link to it below at the end of this video and I'll tell you more about it. Principle number 3. When you start to do this, when you apply the 20% rule, this opens up the conversation to a more strategic relationship. This was the crazy thing that I started to see. When customers were like, oh, cool, well, yeah, we'll commit for a year. And we're like, okay, sweet. Like they really want the 20% discount, I guess. What we found was it wasn't really just the money to them. This was an important choice they were making. So they were happy to do a 1-year commitment. They were happy to take the discount. They felt good about that. But it opened the conversation to a more strategic relationship, meaning all of a sudden we were like, hey, do you want to do like a case study in like 3 months when we hit these benchmarks in a quarterly business review? They're like, yeah, absolutely. All of a sudden, those deals, as we were doing the quarterly business reviews and it came up for renewal, we were able to renew them for a 2-year contract and a 3-year contract. So because we made that switch from just a MRR play to saying, okay, 20% discount for 1 year, that helped us invest into the customer success. And because we invested in the customer success and built that relationship, it became more strategic. And because it became more strategic, a bunch of other things came out of the relationship, including longer deals, 2-year deals and 3-year deals. Our first 6-figure deal, true 6-figure deal for our SaaS business was not a 1-year, like it wasn't 6 figures because it was a 1-year contract. It was because they did a 2-year deal. And it was like, I think it was like 60K and 60K, so it was a 120K deal. And I was like, that is awesome. And that was the power of the 20% rule. So to recap, Use the 20% rule to actually switch from just doing monthly deals to yearly deals. So give a 20% discount. It just makes it super easy and easy to convince people. Then take that free cash flow and invest it into customer success and think strategically for that full year. And finally, up-level the conversation at renewal time to say, let's do a 2 or 3 year deal. Let's do a case study. Let's plan out how we're going to actually expand the platform. Let's get you your insights into the roadmap. Like, think strategically about these deals because you're taking a longer view on these. And when you do that, you're going to be able to increase your retention. You're going to be able to increase your dollar retention rate. You're going to be able to increase your growth, and you're going to have a much more strategic relationship with your customers, all because you gave them a 20% discount, which is super, super powerful. So that's what I had for you today. If you got value from this video, be sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're growing your SaaS business, you likely want to actually have a proper strategy. Pricing is just one of the components. There are other components to driving growth for your SaaS business. So this is why I created my 5-point SaaS growth strategy guide. It's completely free and it goes into detail on how to craft an unstoppable strategy for your SaaS business to drive growth. All you need to do is just go to getunstoppable.com/strategy. Getunstoppable.com/strategy. Just go over there, put in your email, and you'll get free access to the guide. We'll go into much more detail on how to craft a strategy and give you more ideas like the 20% rule. Lastly, if you got value from this video, please share it with a fellow founder or your team. It would mean the world to us. Smash that like button if you haven't already. I also drop a video like this 2 to 3 times a week. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. You'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. But when you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode.